Hi there, everyone. Doug was just eating a Christmas cookie, as is appropriate for the
Mm.
season.
Chaplin made them, and they're delish.
Oh, I'm so glad that they're not poisonous.
No, that'd be my cooking. Anything my cooking is poison. No, my neighbor actually made these for me, and he gave it to me
Oh.
just right before I started streaming, so I had to be that asshole and be like, "I'm sorry, I'm about to stream, but thank you so much. These are so cool. Oh my god."
That is really awesome. I love that for you.
Mhm.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the very last chatting with Doug before Christmas.
Mhm.
I've been trying to continuously explain this, but this is still not the last stream of the year or anything like that.
Mm.
Okay, we do still have stream. Tamara will be on tomorrow. Doug will be here on Friday. I believe Malcolm will be here on Friday. So we still have streams, but this is just the last Q&A before
Mhm.
Christmas.
Before Xmas, yes, yes.
It's the last time I'll be on camera, so I wore my festive giraffe
Oh,
holiday
is that a
sweater.
giraffe? Oh shit!
Yeah,
Look at that.
giraffe with glasses.
Oh, that's amazing. That's so appropriate and inappropriate in so many ways.
Ironically, I have, well, I shouldn't say ironically, it's pretty understandably, I have 3 giraffe holiday sweaters. And
Mm.
it's not because I found them online. All of these have been ones I've randomly seen at like Target, Walmart, Kohl's, and it's like, well, all right.
Well, it's better than what I thought. I thought, like, all of them were gifted to me. They always give me so many. I'm like, oh,
No.
that's a shame. But it's like, no, you willingly get more.
Yeah.
Which, if you love it, you love it.
Yeah. Oh, Wing Weaver, I was talking about just on Channel Awesome. I am still streaming on my personal channel tomorrow evening, but that's not here, on Channel Awesome.
It's not here or there. Actually, it is there. Go there.
But yes, welcome to Chatting with Doug. Thank you so much for this level 3 hype train that we have going on. As usual, we super duper 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 appreciate it. So I'm going to get to the rules so that we can get to these questions. First and foremost, we give priority to the bit messages, since that is some real world money spent towards the end of streams. Sometimes we have time for highlighted messages, but please save your highlighting for the end of stream. If you do it now, I cannot scroll up and see it. Also, highlighting a question or comment does not guarantee that we are going to see or read it. Please do not repeat yourself over and over again in chat. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do it. We do get behind on the bit messages. So if you haven't heard yours read, don't freak out. We've got a list, and it's very rare that we do miss it. Just give us some patience. Sometimes we can get up to an hour behind. We'll get there. Just have some patience. There is no reason to repeat it. Repeating it again will not get you bumped to the top of the list or anything like that. Watch the length of your questions. The longer it is, the faster I have to read it, the more likely it is that we are going to lose the point, and then that's that. We don't have time to repeat it. So short and to the point is better. Please, no spoilers. Not everyone has had a chance to see the latest and greatest of whatever is out there right now. I did finally, I was just telling Doug, I did do a double feature this weekend, so I have seen The Boy and the Heron and Godzilla -1.
I also have seen The Boy and the Heron and minus Godzilla -1. That means I have not seen that. Although, does it make it positive? I haven't seen it.
Nice try. I feel like I missed one. Oh, maybe check to see if someone else has asked the question that you asked. It's not a big deal. You're not going to get in trouble if you ask the same question someone else has. We just feel bad if you're like the 5th person. Right? It just feels bad if you're like the 3rd or 4th person to ask, like, hey, Doug, what's next week's Nostalgia Critic? And we just have to kind of give you the quick answer. You paid bits for that. We want to give you an answer, okay? All right. Good. I think that's it.
We're good. I think we're good.
Great. Author, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug and Heather. How you doing?
Good. Thank you.
Good, yeah. Got the holiday sweater. It's time to rock. Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Great review today, Doug. I used to watch a Nickelodeon show that was a continuation of Rugrats called All Grown Up, which focuses on the same characters dealing with preteen issues. My favorite relationship in the series was between Chucky and his adoptive sister, Kimmy. Even though I can't pretend it has anything outstanding, there was still a maturity to it that I picked up on as a kid. In some ways, those characters did help me through some things.
Thank you. Short. Keep them short. No, okay. No, that's very cool. I've seen a little bit of that show. I actually thought that was a really cool idea, seeing what they would be like as teens and stuff like that. It's kind of such an obvious idea. Like I think people want to see that. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm more for. There's so many shows I feel like they'll take grown up characters. Let's make them babies. Let's see what they're like as kids. Why not do the opposite? Why not grow them up and see what they're like as grown ups? Although I guess we're seeing more and more of that. But yeah, I like shows that do that, or spin-offs that do that, I should say.
Connor Davenport, thank you for the 100 bits. As we near the end of 2023, can you share the most memorable fan encounter you've had at a convention this year?
I didn't go to a ton of conventions this year, especially getting hit with. Well, the studio was one thing, and then me getting hit with the shingles was another thing. So I kind of wanted to play it safe. I'm trying to think. One thing that was kind of cute was that there was at C2E2 somebody was doing a parade. And all these people were getting in line. I can't remember what it was, but it was kind of neat. So I'm like, I'm gonna film it. I started filming it, and one of them just stops, looks at me, and says, "Are you Doug Walker?" I'm like, "No," and he's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe blah blah blah." I'm like, "All right," so I stopped the recording. But it was kind of funny. Like just as I started recording, I'm like, "Okay, here we go. I'm gonna get a lot of this." Just suddenly, "Are you Doug Walker?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." Video over. I think I did post it at you. It's very very cute.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. You know what's a good film to review for Christmas? Boss Baby 2. No joke. Boss Baby 2 is a Christmas movie.
I keep forgetting it's even a movie. I keep forgetting that exists. I already got all my Christmas reviews for the year done. But thank you. I will sadly have to consider that.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 100 bits. I swear this isn't a political question because I know we have that as a rule. So just bear with the journey, okay? With climate change affecting farming in the Scandinavian, Icelandic countries, people are struggling more against politics for their future. What do you think the next generation can do to combat political division for a more global economy? Nah, I'm just kidding. What do you think of the Harold and Kumar movies?
Oh, they're good. I think I'm still kind of stuck on that first half. No, the first one I think is all right. It has like maybe 5 or 6 really good jokes. And then the second one I seem to recall only has like 2 really good jokes. But it's one of those things where I feel like, yeah, I feel like those movies exist just for the titles, but for movies that just exist for the titles, they're not that bad.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. I know you're not the biggest Matthew Broderick fan, Doug, but he recently made a very funny appearance on Only Murders, playing a fictionalized version of himself who has a rivalry with Steve Martin. Turns out Martin's character auditioned to play Ferris Bueller at age 41.
That's pretty funny. I did hear something about that, and I heard he's pretty funny in it. So I'll try to get around to it again. I'm 2 seasons behind, though. That's the only thing. But if people have been sending me, little things like that, like little fun excerpts from it that do sound pretty funny. So I will do my best to check it out.
Nintenga, thank you for the 100 bits. First, I want to clarify that the Gumball episode I was referring to that referenced Silence of the Lambs was The Puppy. Second, do you think you've seen enough of Gumball to make a top 11 episode video for that series yet? Do you still need to catch up?
Oh, I'm so far behind, but I don't know, Gumball's another one of those where it's kind of like Bob's Burgers, where it's hard to remember like specific episodes. I do remember some specific jokes, but I just remember like how much I'm laughing during it and like how creative it is. I don't know. It throws so much creativity at you. It's hard to kind of take it all in. It's one of those where it is one of the few shows where I don't mind watching an episode again because there's always like I forget how creative it is, and then the different animation they use and everything. So no, I definitely haven't seen enough, and even if I have, I feel like I would have to watch them again. You know what I mean? And there's just so damn many episodes. So yes, sadly, that's probably not going to happen. But I do still love the show.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the China Syndrome? I recently watched it and thought it was fantastic. Jane Fonda and Jack Lemmon were both outstanding.
What's it called again?
The China Syndrome.
China Syndrome. I don't even think I've heard of this one. No, yeah, I haven't even heard of it. I will try to check it out.
All right. Connor Davenport, thank you for the 100 bits. What's your favorite original song from a Spider-Man movie? Hero by Chad Kroeger, It's On Again by Alicia Keys, or Sunflower by Post Malone and Swally?
Don't make me say Hero. I don't want to say that. But,
Gosh, that song was everywhere.
And it's...
Uh-oh. Doug? Oh,
Oh
there he
no!
is. There he is.
There
Now
I
he's
am.
back. There he is.
I was saying, it has a style I don't like. That was kind of in like the early 2000s, where everyone kind of sings like they're a country bumpkin with gumballs in their mouth. Everything's Colorado.
And
I,
they
ju- I,
say that a hero can save
yeah, and
us.
I don't like that sound, but I do kind of like that song. It is pretty memorable and gets done what I think it's supposed to get done. It's supposed to be like, the song tied to like Batman Forever. It reminds me of, like, the Batman Forever songs, you know what I mean? And I guess that makes me nostalgic for, like, even though they're kind of lame, I do have a soft spot for songs that are tied to movies like that.
Okay.
So yeah, I hate that I have to choose that, but yeah, I think I do. But if we can go by any of the Spider-Man movies, I think like any of the songs from Across the Spider-Verse or even Into the Spider-Verse.
Nerdy, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug and Heather. I hope you both are having a great Wednesday. I wanted to ask for Doug if you will ever do a review on the movie Norbit.
Maybe out of spite, I almost don't want to. And what I mean by that is every year, every other year, something like that, there's always some Joker, and I don't think it's the same guy, but there's always somebody that thinks I always call it the Shawshank Redemption thing, where they think, well, in Shawshank, he just asked over and over, and they finally said, oh, I'm so frustrated, I'm gonna give him what he wants just to shut him up. That doesn't work in real life, people. Don't do it. If anything, they will try so much harder to never grant your wish. And one of the people who did it was requesting Norbit over and over and over, and I'm like, out of spite, I don't want to. But I have had other people request it before, so we'll see. I've never seen it before.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think of this year's Bob's Burgers Christmas special?
I still haven't seen it yet. Last week, I tried watching it. It wasn't up on Hulu yet. Honestly, I'm just glad there is a Christmas episode, because I didn't know if there was a Halloween episode or if we got late or what. But yeah, no, I always like their Christmas episode, so I will be checking it out soon.
Robin the Snob, thank you for the 100 bits. Any interest in watching Godzilla -1? It has fantastic critical and audience praise.
I'll be honest. So everyone that said, you gotta see it, I'm thinking to myself, I'm sure it's good, but they're Godzilla fans. They're gonna love it because it's Godzilla. And I like Godzilla fine, but I'm not like a diehard. I'm not like obsessed with them or anything. No, but Heather, literally before the stream, is like, no, dude, you gotta fucking see this movie. And I'm just like, fuck. Like I really do, because I know she likes Godzilla, but it's not like, she's not like an obsessed diehard fan. Like, she can see it for just being a Godzilla movie, just being a good movie too. And she's just like, no shit, you gotta see this. And I'm like, God damn it.
You'll love it.
I think Holdovers, I gotta see. The biggest issue is just seeing it when it sounds so bad. Well, I can get away from my wife because she has no interest in seeing Godzilla, and she has no interest in those kind of movies. But I know she'll want to see The Holdovers, something like that. So it's like, okay, I'll try to see if there's a time. I do have like a week off in January, but I don't know if it'll still be on the big screen. I will do my best. It is unlikely I'll be able to see it on the big screen, but I do really want to see it, and I will try my best to.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, please tell me next week's NC review is Gremlins.
It's not. Let me put it this way. I will do Gremlins at some point. It'll probably be next year, but I want to do it early, because I think what happens when we do the Disney Decembers, that kind of messes with the algorithm a little bit. So our early Christmas reviews usually do decent numbers, and then as soon as Disney December starts, they kind of drop down. And I feel like Gremlins would do well. So the one I'm doing this year after Christmas is one that I kind of like that it's being done after Christmas. It is a Christmas movie, but I'm like, given its history, I'm like, it feels right. This should be shown after Christmas. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do. Like after the Christmas holiday passes by, I'll probably do one that I'm like, I don't know if this will do well, but that makes all the more sense to do it after Christmas, but it'll be one I want to talk about kind of thing. Gremlins, I want to give a good spotlight to probably next year.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on 8-Bit Christmas?
I didn't like it. I didn't hate it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't hate it or anything, but it was very clear what it was trying to do. It was trying to be an 80s version of Christmas Story, which is fine. That's honestly what I wanted it to be, but it just didn't make me laugh that much, and I didn't think it was very thought-provoking. I didn't get into the nostalgia much. I didn't get into the characters. So nothing was like awful, but I'm just watching like I'm just not into this weirdly. But I will say that there are portions of it where I feel like if you did not grow up in the 80s, it captures a little bit of that feel pretty well. But I feel like there's other movies that have captured it better, but this one does an okay job. If you legit want to see what it was like to be a kid in the 80s, like it does okay. It does all right on that front.
On a Joker, thank you for the 100 bits. Jacob Marley tells you 3 ghosts will visit you next Christmas Eve, but you can choose their forms. Which 3 fictional characters do you pick?
Oh, let's see. Catherine Zeta-Jones, because there's no way she's a real person. She's way too beautiful for that. she's CGI, clearly. I don't know. They'd all be beautiful women, honestly. It can't be like. I'm watching Industry right now. And the main character in that is just fucking gorgeous. I like she be one of them. I don't know who the hell else. Jessica Rabbit. I don't know.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen The Nativity Story 2005? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I liked it. And I guess when it came out, it didn't get very good reviews. And I find that really baffling. I thought it was very charming. I thought it was interesting. Like, it's not perfect. There's a couple things about there. It sounds weird, but I feel like whenever they mention Jesus, it's a little rushed, and that feels a little weird. Like they should take a little bit more time with that. Like slow down there. It's kind of an important part. But I thought everything about the journey was interesting. I know some of it has to be like, they have to drag out, and have a little filler and stuff like that. But it was good filler, if that makes sense. I thought the 3 wise men were very charming, and they had a lot of character. I enjoyed it. I'm not sure what. The only thing I could think of why it didn't get that great reviews is it was right after Passion of the Christ. And I think people are thinking like, oh, this is trying to cash in on that. It totally could have. I don't know. But I like it a lot better than Passion of the Christ. There's a recommendation for you.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. The latest season of Rick and Morty just wrapped up, and despite Justin Roiland's absence, I still thought it was excellent. The voice replacements are solid, the writing is brilliant as ever, it evolves the story and characters while still feeling primarily episodic. Can't wait to hear what you think once it hits Max.
Yeah, no, that's nice to hear. Because all I heard for a bit was just, the voice actors are good. They're good replacements. I didn't hear much else, so I'm like, oh, I hope it's good. So hearing that makes me very happy, and yeah, I can't wait to see it when it, like you said, when it finally comes to Max or Hulu. I can watch it on either one.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 44-month subscription.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Appreciate that. Why, has it been 44 long months of subbing to this channel? That's a lot of time I'll never get back. Just kidding. Love you guys.
So we'll give you a refund. Here's some time. Here's some time. Take your time back. Here, take my kitty. Take him. Have it, Chaplin. Okay.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. Did you see the trailer for If, the new John Krasinski film? And if so, thoughts?
Yeah. I thought it looked lame. I want to like it too because I like those actors. I like the idea, and it's gonna sound weird. I like the budget behind it. We're gonna have the story about imaginary friends, like Hugh Kelly Imaginary Friends, and it's live action, but it looks like there's a really good budget under it, so the effects actually look like pretty fun and inventive, but it just wasn't making me laugh, and the jokes felt really, really forced and lame, like bad family jokes and stuff. So I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I guess there's a lot of people involved in that I like, but the trailer I thought looked really lame.
Stillbomb, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on Phil Hartman in Jingle All the Way? Personally, aside from the last scene he's in that extremely uncomfortable, I think he makes the movie, in my opinion.
It's funny because I love Phil Hartman. I've always loved him. Growing up, that whole movie I didn't like, and I was ready to like it. I really thought it was a good idea, and I couldn't believe how bad it was. And Phil Hartman was somebody where I was like, oh man, he's going to be like the one thing that's legit funny. And I just wasn't following what he was doing, but I don't think I had that sense of humor that allowed me to like people like Norm Macdonald. I didn't really get his humor growing up either. And then years later, I look back, I'm like, oh shit, this is really funny. Like now I get it. Now I follow it. I think Phil Hartman in that movie is the same. I wasn't following what he was doing with the performance. And now that I look back, I'm like, shit, this is pretty funny.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, please make an NC review for The Tale of Despero. It's a decent fairy tale with plenty of nostalgic moments.
I know what that is. That's the mouse with the big ears, and so
Mhm.
I might do it just because Matthew Broderick's in. He's always easy jokes. So I'll see if I can get around to that. And yeah, thank you for the Phil Hartman question because it inspired me to have more cookies.
There you go. I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. When you do review Barbie, you should review Oppenheimer the week after. Do it like the meme.
I had an idea for what to do in the review. And it didn't include Oppenheimer, but I'm like, maybe I should. Maybe I get that. There might be some way to tie it in. It's definitely one I feel like I can't do alone. I'm gonna have to get like some of the ladies on our site on there. Like I need people that grew up playing with Barbie to talk about that movie because that does play a huge part in it, I think. So yeah, whenever we do it, which will probably be like the first half of next year. I might get an Oppenheimer thing in there. It's not a bad idea.
Honest reviewer, thank you for the 100 bits. Sup, Doug and Heather. You know, we never got to hear which character felt real to Heather. Let's change that. I think I might need more context.
Okay, so in the NC today, I do a thing at the very, because I say to me, growing up, Batman, X-Men, the Animaniacs, they felt real to me. Like, I know they're not, they feel real. And to a point where it almost like they kind of help you through something a little bit. Like, you know, just the characters feel so alive to you. You kind of think, for lack of a better way of putting it, what would these characters do? You know, that kind of thing. So I invite people to share characters that felt real to them and help them through something. You know, it doesn't have to be childhood. It could be anywhere. But yeah, so that's the main thing there. So answer.
That's interesting. Okay. Sorry, I don't always have a chance to watch the review right before the
I mean, literally
Q&A.
an hour before this. Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, no, that's not a ton of time.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm trying to think. Batman's a great answer because Batman the animated series, man, like that gets you through some stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Batman's a great answer. I don't know if this is silly, but I feel like I found a lot of that when I was younger watching animes like Sailor Moon and Card Captors, where I was like, what would Sailor Moon do? You know?
I was thinking, like, there's got to be an anime in there somewhere.
Yeah, probably more like Sailor Moon or Card Captors, or maybe even Pokemon when I was younger. I don't know, but probably more like Sailor Moon for sure. I know, guys, thank you for the 100 bits. In honor of your latest review, I'd like to share a cartoon that helped me out a lot. Hilda, which just ended recently, helped me deal with new changes with a positive outlook. Someday, like the main character, maybe I could go on a big adventure that could change my life.
Yeah, I saw it was wrapping up. I think I got through the first season, and then I think I started the second season, then I didn't get through it, and I probably should. I thought it was a very charming show. I don't know, somewhere I just lost interest, and I should get back into it because, yeah, it was good.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen 9 to 5, 1980? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Oh, yeah. Oh, love that movie. Oh, my God. My mom really liked that movie, too, because she had this weird thing where she would brag, I can always figure out a movie except 9 to 5. I could not figure out that one. There's like a ton of movies she couldn't figure out. But she loved to brag that's the only one. And to her credit, it is a very difficult movie to figure out. And it's very funny, very clever, very direct as well, which I like. And yeah, it's always a great cast too. It's one of those where a lot of people don't know about, so I love introducing them to it. A lot of times we'll have like watch parties introducing someone to 9 to 5. Did we do that with Tamara? We might have. I can't remember. Did you ever see it, Heather?
Yeah, I've seen 9 to 5. Yeah.
I can't remember if we did that with Tamara now, because we do like to introduce, like, you know, Malcolm to, you know, really anyone in the group to a movie. So yeah, no, it's a good one.
Smash Ultra, thank you for the 100 bits. Dot's death feels like it's from a fan fiction in DeviantArt, written by a 16-year-old in a basement in his mom's house, eating Doritos, and never left the basement since he was born. Oh, who am I kidding? I would have done the same thing, and you would have too. Don't lie to me.
Again, I feel like it's worth it for the payoff. So much of that movie is worth it for the payoff. And I think watching it again, knowing where it's all going to go, it's like, yeah, this is all just for a stupid joke. And like, it does make the joke a lot funnier and how far they go with it.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you have any interest in checking out the new Bradley Cooper film, Maestro? I watched it today and it's pretty good. It tells the story of legendary composer and conductor Leonard Bernstein, with great performances by Cooper and Carey Mulligan.
I don't know much about him, so it might be interesting to check. I think it's getting good reviews. So is it on Netflix? Right? I
I
think.
have no idea, actually.
So it might be something to check out. That's another one where, well, if it's really good, maybe I'll see. My wife wants to see it too, but I don't think she'd be that into it. I do like movies about like the creative process and stuff, especially if it's something I don't always follow. Like I don't follow how music is made and everything. Like I love music, obviously, but the technicals I'm pretty much a dummy at. So it's interesting, something like that or Amadeus or something like that, where you see them construct something and it's like I almost follow that.
Chat is confirming it is Netflix. Thank you, chat.
Okay, cool. I'll try to check that out.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, remember your top 11 worst Avatar episodes list? I'm a little surprised the Fortune Teller episode wasn't on it, because I always found the episode kind of pointless. I mean, if cut from the show, what would you miss?
I'm trying to remember Fortune Teller. I mean, maybe that's proof to your point.
Right. I
Yeah,
don't remember it.
Trying to remember it. Ironic, because it's about telling the future and what's going to happen, and I don't remember it. The future is that I wouldn't remember it. Well, maybe you're just proving our point, or your own point. So yeah, we're probably proving it for you. So there you go. Good job.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm in the middle of recovering from a flu that I got from my dad. Oh, that
I'm
stinks.
sorry.
It should be gone before Christmas. I just want to say thank you so much for the amazing work you do, Doug, and Heather, and the rest of the CA crew.
Oh, thank you. It's so
Thank
kind of you
you.
to say. I hope you feel better.
Dillbomb, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Oppenheimer again since you first reviewed it? And if so, did any of your thoughts progress or regress? Sorry. I've seen it 4 times now, and I feel fully content with saying that it's Nolan's masterpiece and one of the best films of the century.
That's a lot of hours. But it is very good. No, I haven't seen it again. I don't know if I'm gonna seek it out to see it again, which is not to, bash it or anything like that. I wouldn't mind seeing it again. It's more there's just so many other things to see, and I feel like I got like the gist of it, what's so good about it and stuff like that. So I wouldn't mind seeing it again. I don't think I'm gonna have time, and like I said, I think when I really kind of let it sit, I realized what it was doing and why it was so brilliant. So yeah, it's probably no shit. That or Across the Spider-Verse. I don't know. One of those. Across the Spider-Verse is my personal favorite of the year, but in terms of what is the best, that's a little trickier.
Author, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, do you think it's kind of ironic that Pinocchio, the highest rated animated Disney film of all time, ended up being turned into the most hated, lowest rated Disney live action remake of all time?
That's impressive. It's so funny because that's one where I saw it. I'm like, yeah, this isn't good, but I don't know. Some things about were all right. I thought it was a little inventive and stuff. And that's the one, like maybe even more than Lion King. Like people just absolutely hate it. And I don't know. I really like Pinocchio. I think it's a wonderful film. I think it's just amazing and stuff like that. And I watched it a lot when I was a kid, especially the darker, creepier moments and stuff like that. I don't know why I didn't mind the changes as much in the live action remake. Like I said, it's still not good. It's not a good movie. I'm the same thing with Dumbo. Like I thought I would hate that movie, and I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm a little lenient toward that. I don't know why some I'm a bit more lenient to about them. And yeah, that one, it is bad. Definitely bad. I don't think it's anywhere near the worst.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, how's that brain fog treating you? Hopefully it'll be gone after the season's over.
I mean, by January, that's when, or end of January, that's when I'll go back to the doctor if I still got it. Whenever I have it, it feels like nothing is changing, and like I said, brain fog's really bad. It's hard to even form words. Reading is really tough, which sounds so ridiculous, but I can read on my own, okay. But reading and then saying it out loud is really difficult. So I actually have to show up to work an hour early because I know it's going to take longer to read the script. Now I have to do like 8 takes of every line. I can read it, but I always say I sound like Butthead. Let's say the line is, "Hi, how you doing?" I'll say like, "Hi, how you doing?" Like that, like my tongue will kind of run together there and stuff. So it is technically doing better. When I do the math, I'm like, no, I am it is with me less than it's with me. It's with me for a less amount of time. So I guess that means it is getting better. When you have it for this long, for 6 months, though, it is a little hard not to be pessimistic. But it's like the math gets me through. I'm like, no, think about how it was before, and it's not as bad as it was before.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 100 bits. Question for Heather, favorite Goosebumps book, and for Doug, favorite horror movie.
Favorite horror, probably The Haunting, the original. That'd probably be it for me.
I think my favorite Goosebumps book is probably the dummy one. I know that's like super cliche, but what is that? Night of the Living Dummy? I loved that one. That one was great.
Did you see the new show?
I did not. No.
I'm saying, for people that grew up with the books, I'm really curious what they think, because I haven't, and I thought it was pretty cool what they were doing. But I recognize some of like the characters and tropes and stuff like that. But they tried to do what they did with Hill House and The Innocents and stuff on Netflix and stuff. They tried to take all the stories and kind of play with the themes and ideas of them in one long story. And it was a really interesting experiment. I thought for the most part it paid off.
Okay. At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. I might be alone on this, but would you consider Karma by AJR a Christmas song? I know AJR. I'm trying to think of Karma.
AJR Karma. I'm looking it up, like if I see them, that's going to suddenly make me remember the song. And it's like, no, that's not how that works. I'd have to hear it. I don't know if I've heard it before. Yeah, I gotta just listen to it. I'm sorry.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. I'm just going to say it and people can judge me how you like. I think what happened with Jonathan Majors is bogus. I followed this closely and seen the video of the incident. He ran away from the girl and still was found guilty, then immediately cut from Marvel. That's wild to me.
I didn't follow it that closely. I did hear something happened where there's, I think maybe that was like some sort of new evidence. It's like, oh, maybe not. So the verdict did surprise me a little bit, but like, half of it he wasn't guilty on, the other half he was, or something. So I'm not sure. I mean, like, and I didn't follow it, so I can't really comment that much on it. So I guess I'm not the best person to talk. I'm about as good to talk to it about like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I just didn't follow it that close.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 100 bits. What fictional world would you want to live in? Gotham City or Marvel's New York?
Oh, Gotham City. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, all the way.
If I'm going to get hounded by supervillains, I might as well have some beautiful Gothic architecture.
Yeah, exactly.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, when you do Disney-cember next year, you could review Lost. And if you do, I highly recommend watching an 8-part Lost review from the channel The Lotus. He not only goes into detail about the show, but also interviews from the creators, article like a real detective. At least check out the first video. It's only 15 minutes.
All right, I might check that out. I did really get into it when it was on. I started to fall out of it, but I still kind of kept, just enough tabs on it because I'm like, well, I do want to know what's going on. And like a lot of people, I was pretty pissed by the ending, but I shouldn't have been surprised, honestly. I don't know. I guess I haven't really done ABC shows, but that would be kind of an interesting one to throw on there. I don't know. Maybe. Might be an idea.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. If you could have one composer conduct music for every moment of your life, which composer would you choose?
See, that's rough, because you got to choose either what you want, which would be something like, Hans Zimmer or Danny Elfman or something like that, or you got to, be honest and be like, what it is, which would be like, like John Debney music, or something like that, where it's just like really light and fluffy, like do kind of music. So I don't know. Yeah, I'll say Hans Zimmer, because he can even make do music sound pretty cool and pretty badass, and give it like a new spin. So yeah, I'll say Zimmer.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. Speaking of Hilda, have you managed to catch up on the end of the series? It's definitely up there as one of my favorite shows of all time.
No, and I want to. It's weird. For some reason, I need to take a break from it. I don't know why. It just, when I started the second season, it wasn't grabbing me as much, and I think that was a good time to get back into it. So I'll try and get back into it soon.
Dillbomb, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, for future Disney-cembers, would you do more older Fox films such as The Princess Bride and Big?
Maybe, there's so many things where I keep trying to add something new each year, and I'm just like, I don't know what's next. And my thought before was like, well, only talk about the Fox films after Disney took over, because it looks weird seeing Alien and the little Disney December logo there. But then I'm thinking like, well, Miramax might make sense to do, and I'm like, but Pulp Fiction, that's gonna look weird seeing Pulp Fiction, the little Disney December logo, and then I'm like, maybe that'll be funny. Actually, it might look funny. So we'll see, because obviously there's a lot of great Fox films out there.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Heather, I read online that Japan has plans for a Pokemon theme park based on the Kanto region. The park is supposed to be set up in Yomiuri Land, Tokyo. For now, no date of opening has been set. There we go. Wow, that took me a while to figure out, but we got there. Cool. I mean, that sounds very Japan-like. They do love theme parks with a good theme. Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 230 bits. That was a great review today, Doug. I love that movie, and it was my intro to Hungarian Rhapsody #2. What a great early birthday present. My birthday is this Saturday. I'll be turning 29, and I keep my hairline strong.
Yeah, man, I don't know what my intro to it with it. Maybe it's like Tom and Jerry or Bugs Bunny. I mean, it's in so many cartoons. That's why it's in like
true.
Rocko's Wish. I'm trying to think like, yeah, I don't know what my intro to it would be. It's got to be something in Looney Tunes, I feel like. It was all over the place there.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. On Christmas Eve, I'm seeing Migration with my family. I've been hearing pretty good things and would love to see you review it when you feel better.
Yeah, we'll see. I might just do like a big video that's just like catching up on all the stuff that I saw but wasn't able to do a video on. I wouldn't mind seeing it for anything else. Just the flying animation looks really pretty. There's a lot of fall colors in there too and everything. So I don't know. Whenever I see the trailer, it's not making me laugh, but I'm like, it looks really nice. So yeah, it is one of those that I might check it out.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Will you check out Rebel Moon when it comes out? The reviews are pretty bad, but I'm still looking forward to it.
Again, I'll have to see. I'll say this: if it's one of those where it's so bad it's funny, I'll probably see it faster. But I'm always a little curious what Snyder is doing, even his really, really bad stuff. It's still kind of interesting. So I'll do my best. But yeah, it's probably going to be a bit.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 150 bits. For my character that resonates with me throughout my life is Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I saw myself in her, and I was the same exact age when she came on screen. Also a person with disability, she didn't let her disability define her. She's the best, and every time she comes on screen and does what she does, I go, fuck yeah!
Yeah, I like... and it's funny because they say that don't let your disability define you. What I like about that character and other characters like her is that in a way it defines them, but like in a good way. They use it to their advantage. They use it to do stuff that other people can't do. And I love that. They wear it like a badge of honor. They use it as a very strong advantage. And I'm not saying everything can be used that way, but when somebody can find a way to do that, I think that's just the coolest goddamn thing. So I agree. That's a good character.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, E.T. the Extraterrestrial is my second favorite movie of all time. I remember a while ago you said you liked the movie but didn't love it. I want you to know that does not offend me. In fact, it intrigues me. Maybe an NC review?
I only try to do NC reviews with movies I find real interest in talking about, and that is one. Even though it's a good movie, it just never grabbed me, and my brother's the same way, where we're both like, no, it's good. Honestly, it could be a lot worse for a Spielberg movie about a cute little alien, they gotta hide and everything, with little kids and everything. It's actually a decent flick, but it's totally possible that maybe we saw the spin-offs in all these Saturday morning cartoons and everything before we saw E.T., so we already knew how the story went. And I feel like even then, I feel like that story's kind of been done, where something supernatural comes along. It's cute. It befriends a kid, and the kids want to hide him, away. But I can't think of anything before E.T. You know what I mean? I want to say I've seen some cartoons about, but I think they came out after. So it's totally possible. Maybe I just already knew the story even before I saw that story, if that makes sense. But it is good. It's well done. It's got a good edge to it. The acting is phenomenal and everything. It just never quite grabbed me like other movies from that time period.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 42-month subscription. Welcome
Thank you.
back. Since Doug has urged us to share the characters that comfort us, my comfort character is Wario, because what everyone else assumes about him is true. He's gross, rude, dopey, selfish, egotistical, but putting those qualities aside, he's also adventurous, strong, funny, charismatic, self-confident, and has accomplished all kinds of feats even with his imperfections. He's proof that even an ugly fool can be a superstar.
I mean, he's got his own games. Apparently, they're very popular games. So, yeah, there you go. He's not just a boring bad guy. He got his own game before Bowser got his own game. Think about that. I don't even know Bowser even has his own game.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. I heard rumors that the MCU X-Men is considering having Mr. Sinister as the big bad. Thoughts?
Oh, I would love that. Wait. MCU's X-Men or just the MCU in general?
MCU X-Men.
Okay. I mean, Sinister's cool, and we never got a movie around him, and he would look cool, on the big screens and Mac and everything. So, yeah, no, I'd be totally down for that.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, in your Disney December review of Ahsoka, you mentioned how you like the Sith apprentice because of her crazy eyes. How is that different from the villain in the Marvels, who arguably does the same thing?
Well, no. Well, first of all, I did say I like the villain's crazy eyes in the Marvels. I feel like she was doing everything possible to try to save that role because there wasn't much to work off of. No, but that character is supposed to be more inward. Where the one in the Marvels does talk a lot. She explains what her plan is and stuff like that. There is a lot of dialogue. It's just not very interesting dialogue. Where that character, I think, all the emotion, all the character and everything is all just the expressions on her face. She keeps everything, very, very, very short and to the point. But again, kind of like Batman, you don't need to, or like the Keaton Batman, you don't need to say that much to get across a lot. And I feel like she did that very well. And the guy too, that she was under was very much, even though he did have a lot of dialogue, he didn't need to do that much either. I don't know. I feel like those performances are, very underrated. I think a lot of people want everything kind of over-explained and stuff, and the writing's okay in the show, but I thought the acting was doing a lot more than people were giving credit for.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, have you seen the Wonka movie yet? And if so, what are your thoughts?
No, not yet. I hear it's good. I haven't heard, like, a bad review about it yet. People either say, oh, that was actually okay, or, like, they love it. And I'm really, really curious about that. So, yeah, I'm glad to hear that too, because I like that team. I like the people that made the Paddington movies and stuff. And that was the only thing where I'm like, I hope I'm wrong, because this looks bad. But the Paddington movies look bad too. So, yeah, I'm glad to hear it's good. I'm excited to check it out. I have no idea when I'm going to check it out.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 100 bits. You are given $6 million to recast and reboot the first Matrix movie. Who would you cast, and what would your story be?
The original casting choice, Will Smith. He's not doing anything, right? They just do a 360 of boom, slap. Anyway, sorry. I don't know. I'd have to see who like the kind of the new young hot talent is and stuff like that. It is so funny because like when I think of who would you cast, like I do go to casting that's like 10 or 15 years old, and it's like no, it's somebody now who's the hot thing now. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because there's an idea in there, certainly. I mean, there's a lot of good ideas in there. I just didn't think they were executed that great. I would like something that did more kind of what the first half, what the fourth movie was doing, where you're really in this world, you actually get to know these people, and then something like, I don't know, the second half make it more like either what the first movie did or the second movie where the action's like really fun and they just go crazy over the top fun with it. But there's always good ideas in there. I don't know. I guess that doesn't help. I have no idea.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Sorry if this has already been asked, but what did you think of The Boy and the Heron?
I liked it. It's almost a 4-star movie. There's a couple things they do. I don't know. One of these days I might re-edit it because there's just a few things I want to tinker around with where I think it'd be perfect because it has a bit of an Ingmar Bergman movie feel to it, and I'm loving that. But it starts off a little slow, kind of takes a while. But again, when it gets to the dream world, it's like, oh, this is all abstract. Well, now I want to see that first chunk again to see if this really connects to the abstract stuff. And then in the last like 10 minutes, they're like, oh, by the way, this character is that person. Oh, by the way, this represents that. Oh, by the way, that's what was going on here. And they over explain everything. I'm like, shut up, don't do that. I was loving reading into it who these people were and what they were to him and what they might become or what they were and stuff like that. And then when they just say it, I thought that ruined a lot. Like it didn't ruin the film, but it's like, man, there's almost like just a perfect Miyazaki movie in there. And sometimes they either went to a little too much detail, or if they're gonna do that, they didn't go into enough detail earlier, which is a shame. But it's still really, really good. The animation's great. I love the ideas in it. But there's almost a perfect movie in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's gorgeous and well acted, and I had a great time with it for sure.
Yeah, it's still very, very good. I recommend it. If you're gonna see it on the big screen. It's gorgeous. But yeah, you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, you're so close. You almost got like perfection here. You know what I mean?
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. I'm also going to see The Boy and the Heron with my sister on Saturday, hopefully since my flu will be gone, and I'm excited. So Heather and Doug, how was it? No spoilers, please.
If I could watch it again, I would leave before the last maybe 10 minutes. And you could just tell me, yeah, they got away and everything's good. You know what I mean? Like just the last 10 minutes is where I just want to go, la, 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 I don't hear you, la, la, la. You know what I mean?
Talking of Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. The Christmas Carol is my favorite Christmas story, and I like watching most versions of it. But what I dislike is the ending where the Scrooge figures out ways to be... Sorry, where the Scrooge figure gets way too happy. I get it, he learns his lesson, but he's at a 10 and I need him at like a 7. Heather and Doug, what Christmas stories do you like, but a scene that you'd tweak?
Well, I love Christmas. I'm like you. I like seeing even bad versions. I like watching it. I like them that much. A scene I would tweak in some sort of Christmas movie. Man, I'm trying to think. Like Christmas Vacation is one of my favorites, and Arthur Christmas is up there too. I don't know. There's one or two jokes in Christmas Vacation where when I look back, I'm like, that's kind of lame, you know, kind of thing. Like there's one or two jokes I would tweak, but not much. Yeah, no, I mean, I usually like them so much because they are that good. And real quick, in response to the Scrooge one you were talking about, if you've seen, I'm sure you've seen the Alastair Sim one. That has one of my favorite versions of that, which is when, you know, he's giddy, he's happy, and suddenly he gets really angry and he throws down his pen and he goes, I don't deserve to be so happy. Like he tries to bring the grumpiness back, and then he starts laughing. He's like, but I can't help it. I think it makes sense because it really finds something that he just really thought was dead. I mean, I think he forgot he even had it, and it's just exploding. Like he literally can't control it. And I think every once in a while, when you get a good feeling like that good, that giddy, it is hard to control sometimes. And like you don't really get it, you know, too much as an adult, but like when you're a kid and you get those giggles, it's like the greatest feeling in the world, and you can't stop it no matter how many times people tell you to stop. It's like I can't stop laughing, and I think that's what that's supposed to kind of create there.
Dillbomb, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey Doug, whatever happened to sibling rivalry? I miss seeing you and Rob talk about movies, a la Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah, we're both just busy. We're busy and we're getting older. Which is not to say it's so hard to sit down and talk about a movie. It's not. It's just finding time to do it with everything else we're doing. And even like, you know, stream and stuff like that, and sponsorships add on top of it. You know, these are little things that aren't like crazy time consuming, but they're just enough that they do get in the way of stuff like that. But no, we still love to talk about movies and all that stuff. And I don't know. At one point, maybe we'll do a few more of them. Yeah, because you're not the only one. Other people have asked to bring that back.
Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I know you'll be proud of me because I learned who the person responsible for the Disney remakes is. That person is named Sean Bailey. I'll pass out the torches, you pass out the pitchforks.
Interesting. Go ahead and leave him alone. I'm sure he's got enough on his conscience anyway.
Retro Station, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite Christmas cartoon specials from the 80s, 90s, and modern?
Oh, Jesus. I'll just say once. The Mickey Christmas Carol is great. The Pinky and the Brain Christmas special is really great. I'm blanking on others all of a sudden. The Futurama Christmas special is great. You know what? I did a years ago I did something that was like underrated Christmas specials. I did like a whole collection of them. So you can check that out. A small one is amazing. That might be like my favorite thing that Don Bluth's ever done. You can watch it on Disney Plus, so check that out.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 100 bits. Wishing you both a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Back at you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate that. I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. Apparently, two things are happening with the TMNT sequel. One, the deleted scenes from the first film are going to be in the sequel. Two, Shredder will be 1,000 times more frightening than Superfly.
There's something about him being like, I don't know, a villain for hire that feels really weird. And my brother and I were talking, speaking of sibling rivalry, that we kind of liked we were getting a turtle story without the Shredder, because there aren't that many in terms of movies. And then when they show him at the end, there was kind of like an feeling to it. I mean, I hope they do him well, but yeah, I don't know. It doesn't always have to be him. Like what we said with the Joker, it doesn't always have to be the Joker with Batman. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Retro Station, thank you for the 100 bits. Give Heather 2 raises, mainly for her and Tamra's Lethal Company playthrough. 2 raises for Tamra too, since 'tis the season and all.
Get right with the 2 turtle doves, yes. 2 turtle dove raise.
Thank you, Retro Station. Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, The Ghost and Molly McGee is another wonderful Disney cartoon I'd love for you to watch for next year's Disney-cember. There's only 2 seasons, and the final episode will premiere in January.
Okay, I forget if I have that down. I might not, because I've heard good things about that show. I'll write that down. So, well, was it again? The Ghost and
Molly McGee.
Molly McGee. Gotcha. I will try to check that out.
Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 150 bits. 2 of my favorite things you did, not critic related, are the PBS 100 Years of Comedy promo and the Whose Line Is It? Anna Ridge from ShadowCon 2011, where you had to figure out the crime you committed, which was stealing drugs in Gotham City because you wanted people to stop calling you Doug Funny.
Oh, that's funny. Doug Funny. I forgot about that. Yeah, I used to do a lot of those improv. If there's ever an improv show at a con, I always ask to see if I could be a part of it because I really liked doing that. And the other thing, oh yeah, the 100 Years of Comedy, they just saw the video I did, the 50 impressions in 50 seconds, and they just called up and they're like, can we turn that into a commercial and with you in it? I'm like, I'm not going to fight you on that, sure. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was very easy to do, and yeah, it's weird just flipping through channels on TV and then just suddenly seeing your face.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Is Winnie the Pooh a Very Merry Pooh year on the table for an NC review or a future Disney-cember?
Just for that title, yes. I don't know if I've ever seen that one, unless it's just from the old cartoon show. Like if that's just the Christmas special. But I haven't seen it in years, so I'll try to check it out again.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Top 3 John Carpenter movies.
Oh man, The Thing would definitely be up there. I have to see. I have to double check which ones are his. I get him confused a lot with Clive Barker. John
okay.
Carpenter. Oh, he did The Fog? No shit. Didn't know that. Escape from New York's pretty fun. I mean, I guess people will kill me if I don't say Halloween. I gotta put Halloween. And I do really like
your
Halloween.
list, Doug.
It is my list. But whatever the fuck I wanted. I feel like there's something else I liked more than that. Oh, fucking They Live. I love They Live. Yeah, that'd be the one.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I watched this kind of foreign film called Joyeux Noël. It's a story about the historical account of World War I, known as the Christmas Truce. It's a powerful film, and I think you should review it next Christmas. I was surprised that one of the actors was the guy who played Zemo in the MCU.
No, it's a wonderful film. I talked about it. I did a list of top 11 best Christmas specials, and I did another one to follow up where I had that on there as well. And it's very, very good. There's a good, when I talk about Christmas commercials, there's a commercial that talked about that and did a very good job, like recreating it and talking about why it's so special and stuff like that. No, it is a fascinating time in history, and it's a very, very good film. as an NC review, I don't know what I could add to it that hasn't already been said. I don't think I can bring anything new to it. It's very self-explanatory why it's good. But anyone that's not seen it, definitely check it out. And it is one of those films. It sounds like, oh, is it all in French? Is it all subtitled? No, it's all the languages that they speak in the movie. You know that there's English, there's French. Was it German? I think was the other one in there. It's very, very good.
Smash Ultra, thank you for the 100 bits. Review request Dexter's Lab Ego Trip, because Dexter inspired people to create My Little Pony, Gravity Falls, Danny Phantom, and Family Guy.
Oh, neat. It's called Ego Trip. Is it the show or is it like a game or?
I don't know. Is that the name of the movie? I have no idea.
Oh, maybe it's
Is it a movie? I know Dexter's Lab. I watched a lot of Dexter's Lab with my siblings. It's a film, the movie, 1999 movie.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I'm the one to do it. Even I did watch Dexter's Lab and I liked it, but I feel like that should be safe for someone that like grew up with it, really knows everything about it, knows all the lines and stuff like that. Because I saw it, I liked it, but you know, I wasn't like a diehard fan or anything. Yeah, like you need a diehard fan, I feel like, to talk about that. But who knows? Maybe just an okay fan could do it at some point. I don't know. We'll see.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Side note for the Ghost and Molly McGee. Remember when you did a drinking game in God of War whenever Kratos says boy? You could do the same thing with characters every time they hug in the show. Seriously, the show loves hugging as much as Dragon Ball loves screaming.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's if it's anything like kind of those again, I just sort of call them cartoon epics like Gravity Falls and Owl House and stuff like that. It's probably the same love affair with crying, with tears, you know. So that doesn't surprise me.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. Did you check out the trailer for Beverly Hills Cop 4? And if so, thoughts?
Yeah, I actually thought it looked kind of cool.
Okay.
I saw the little thumbnail. I'm like, oh Christ, are we doing this again? And it was a cool trailer. I was not expecting to get into it. So I'll give it a chance. That trailer legit kind of won me over. It could still be crap, you know, but at the very least, we had a cool trailer that came out of it.
Oiriam, thank you for the 100 bits. Well, Doug, looks like you won't have to worry about Kang anymore.
You know, taking out real life everything that happened and stuff like that, I'm not gonna miss it. Again, taking out real life and everything, I liked him as an actor. I thought he was a good performer. I've really got into all his performances and stuff like that, but I don't know if they just had anything that strong there. Let me put it this way, they had something really strong. They didn't show it yet. The closest we got, I thought, was the end of season 1 of Loki. I thought that intro was a very fascinating intro to him, but everything else they did just was not sucking me in. So in terms of storytelling and everything, I'm not gonna miss it.
Oiriam, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, you hear about the controversy with fellow YouTuber The Completionist?
A little bit. I didn't follow it that closely. I'm actually really bad at following YouTube drama. So I heard a little bit about money being donated to a charity and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not an expert on it, so I'm not the guy to ask.
Oiriam, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, you heard of Bahumduck. Thought of checking it out?
Did I? I'm trying to think if Brad might have reviewed that. Brad Jones might have talked about that before. I don't think I've seen it. I probably should, because I like a lot, even if it's just like a clip show thing. I like a lot of those with Looney Tunes, so I will try to check it out.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 100 bits. Heather, what's your favorite Godzilla movie? I'm gonna be obnoxious and say I don't know. Some of the Godzilla movies, kind of like the James Bond movies in my mind, all meld together. Because I just sat down and did a marathon with my friends in college, and I was like, they're one lump there and there. I will give you a Godzilla hot take really fast, though, because my friends who are super Godzilla fans disagree with this heartily. I actually really enjoyed Shin Godzilla. That's my Godzilla hot take, but it's all mostly because of personal experience, because I was around Japan in 2011 when the earthquake and tsunami hit. I wasn't in Japan then, but like I did some volunteer work and whatever. And I know a lot of the people who I talked to when I was doing volunteer work were so frustrated about the bureaucracy, and I feel like Shin Godzilla reflected that a lot, where like there's this giant, like it was all the bureaucratic shit that was like stopping them from actually like
Helping people.
helping the people to like, or helping from stopping this disaster of Godzilla. And there's a lot of parallels to the people I talked to in Japan with the disaster of the tsunami and earthquake. So that one hit home for me.
As long as you didn't say Godzilla 98, I think you'll get off the hook.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits for NC for it's a mad, 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 mad world or rat race.
I thought about doing Rat Race. And I know I'm not saying that's better than Man World. I mean, that's like a classic, but Rat Race is one of those where I feel like I can talk about it. I can see stuff in there that like I don't want to say other people don't see, but it's kind of regarded as just like a lower level comedy, but it has a following and there, I don't know. There's a lot to talk about with that film, and I think it's actually pretty funny, despite a really bad ending. So I might do that at some point.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Is next week's review a Christmas Story in celebration for its 40th anniversary?
Well, you have to ask for a clue, and not just the reveal of it. So there's many layers. In fact, yeah, it is.
Great. Fantastic. Godzilla fan, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen A Christmas Story?
Is that the one that just came out last year, I think?
I don't know.
I think so. Yeah, it was okay, surprisingly. I didn't love it. It still has a lot of the problems a lot of the spin-offs have and everything, but it was the after Christmas Story, it's the best thing to come out of that, you know, with all the merch and spin-offs and sequels and stuff like that. Like, I feel like that was the best of them, even though it does still have a lot of problems. I did enjoy it.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. By the way, the director of Joy Noel film tried to research this and noticed how each country essentially tried to bury what happened back then. I guess it makes sense. Can't fight a war if the soldiers are getting along.
I mean, that's what makes that ending. So, I mean, I guess I won't give away the ending, but yeah, I mean, it's harsh. It goes, you know, hard into its message there at the end, but yeah, it does show like, you know, it's not that hard to manipulate a message, you know, especially in desperate times. So yeah, I think that's not surprising.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, at some point, will you make NC reviews for Across the Spider-Verse and TMNT Mutant Mayhem?
Oh, I love the way you say it, mayhem.
I know. I don't know why I can't say mayhem correctly. Sorry.
You said it right there.
Yeah, I know. It's the mutant before that makes my mouth want to go like mutant mayhem.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Across the Spider-Verse, definitely. I'm not sure when I'll get around to it, but I really do want to talk about it. Mutant Mayhem, maybe. You know, I liked it. I had a good time. It's not one I feel like I can talk a ton about, but I had a decent time.
Twilight Stone, hello. I just want to say thank you for the Merry Christmas bits that you gave before stream. We appreciate that. Thank you. At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. I know you said you want unknown actors to play the X-Men, but would you cast anybody in particular to play the supporting characters? Maybe Catherine Zeta-Jones as Lilandra?
I'd have to go through all the X-Men and stuff like that. I don't know. You know, I was trying to think of. I'm like, wait, I got like posters of them all over the place. I can just look up there and be like, okay, yeah, who do I think should play who here? I don't know. I mean, I guess we can go a little bit into spoilers now. I saw they still have Kelsey Grammer as Beast. I would rather have makeup and go for somebody new. Rather than, even though his voice is amazing, clearly. What I would do, I'd do the Doug Jones thing where you have like somebody else lip syncing to him, but there has to be a person there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree.
There's just not a point to do that with that character. You can do makeup with that guy. It's not, it's impossible for him to exist in 3 dimensions. One, they already did it in, you know, the movies. And yeah, so I didn't quite follow the point of that, but yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at all the other characters up there on X-Men. I'm just like, I don't know, just get some newbies.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. I'm assuming that you'll review Fat Albert and Kung Pao in January.
Wow. That's like what I was looking at. Yeah. Like I literally have the DVD and the Blu-rays coming in. I'm just sorry, that just kind of caught me off guard. Just the fuck. So I'm looking up. I haven't written them yet or watched them yet, but yeah, I'm strongly considering it. You got like yeah from the post office or something? How'd you know that?
Tiny Writer, thank you for the 200 bits. Hi, Doug. I have very fond memories of the stop motion Rankin Bass Christmas shorts. What are your favorite stop motion Rankin Bass or animated shorts?
Oh, animated short. I mean, small ones gotta be my favorite in terms of like Christmas shorts.
Oh, I think they meant the still Rankin Bass
The
stop
Rankin Bass.
motion or animated shorts.
Um, I mean, terrible confession. I don't get that into them. I see why people do. I do understand. When I was younger, I legit didn't get it. I'm like, why are people? Why? It's not even that great stop motion. What's wrong? And it's like, no, that's part of the charm. That's part of what's fun about it and stuff like that. But I do like the see, or Here Comes Santa Claus or Santa Claus Coming Out, whichever one Mickey Rooney was Santa. That one I liked a fair amount. Yeah, I'll go with that one.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. I will say about Hilda, there is a movie in between Hilda in season 2 and 3 called Hilda and the Mountain King. You should see it between the seasons so you don't get confused.
Yeah, no, I was aware of that. And when I watch, I will definitely check that out.
Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the trend in the 80s and 90s bad sitcoms of a very special episode? How they would go from regular laugh episodes to suddenly serious for one episode and then back to laughs, and why was that a thing when they never did it right?
I'm sure there's some episodes that did it right. They how do I put it? The same way Rankin Bass has kind of a charm for its cheesiness, I feel sometimes the special episodes can too. Well, Christ, you want the best example? Fresh Prince.
Oh my
Man,
gosh.
that how come you don't want me, man? That's still like that sends chills
Haunting.
down my spine, and that's Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Like that's the title of the show, and that scene is just remarkable. So it is one of those things where it shows it can be done right. I'm more of a fan when they work them in naturally, like what All in the Family did a lot of the times, where if anything, it made it more uncomfortable when it's like, well, are we gonna get a laugh? Or are we gonna get, a gut wrenching moment? Then when it is a laugh, it makes you laugh so much harder. So I like that a little bit more, but no, they do it to play around with like, they want to connect with you and they want to be like that comedy that, encompasses something you really relate to. And there is a lot of drama in life, so it's not surprising that they do it. But yeah, I would argue it's usually better if it's worked in more organically. It doesn't have to be squeezed into a special episode.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 100 bits. Heather, are you excited for the Percy Jackson show? Haven't gotten to watch the 2 episodes that dropped yet, but I've been hearing good things. Yeah, I totally forgot that just dropped until I went to go watch some of Spy. I've been trying to get through the newer episodes of Spy Family and on Hulu, and I turned on Hulu and it was like, Percy Jackson episode 1 is on Hulu, and I was like, oh, right. I gotta get to that. So no, I haven't watched it yet, but I will, and I will be excited.
The feedback so far, I mean, it's like 46 critics and then about 500 people, but they're all like, they're in like the 90%.
Heck yeah.
Right? Yeah, so I mean, I think
the
that's a
book
good sign.
deserves that.
That's what it sounds like. A lot of people really say it deserves it. What it sounds like this adaptation, it sounds like.
Homecoming Hero, thank you for the 100 bits. Thanks for reviewing Wacko's Wish. Was it... Sorry, let me try to read this again. I don't know. Wacko's Wish is another one I can't say. Thanks for reviewing Wacko's Wish. Was a tradition for me growing up. As for the question, SpongeBob is who I wanted to be like growing up, spreading positivity and joy to others in the face of a blah world. Must have worked. Many of my coworkers used to call me SpongeBob when I was too peppy in the mornings.
I mean, he didn't always bring joy to everybody. Ask Squidward, but yes, I could definitely see that.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. NC characters as Christmas Carol ghosts. Uncle Lies as the ghost as Christmas Past. Devil Boner as the ghost of Christmas Present. And of course, Wilkins as the ghost of Christmas Future.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, well, we did that, didn't we, in the Muppet Christmas Carol? Yeah, for whatever reason, I always had this big thing of like, hey, and God knows how many tropes and cliches we've done on our show and stuff like that. But for some reason, I was really, even though I love Christmas Carol, I'm like, no, we're not doing a Christmas Carol. Like for some reason, I'm like, everybody does a Christmas Carol parody, not me. I'm not doing it. So yeah, I don't know why. Even though I love it, it's like one of my favorite Christmas things ever. Like I'm like, we're not doing a parody. Everyone does a parody of it.
Thank you for your hype train number 2, chat. Y'all are amazing. Thank you. Mahana Long Walker, thank you for the 6-month subscription. Welcome back. It's been a great time. It's been great having you.
Yeah.
Author, thank you for the 100 bits. This is part 1 of 2. I find it interesting how Disney took one-dimensional bully characters like Pacifica and Amity from Gravity Falls and Owl House respectively and gave them sympathy and developed to the point that they became allies to the heroes.
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
No, go
Oh, I
ahead.
guess there's more. There is more, isn't there? Yeah,
Yes,
I'll wait
there
for
is.
part 2.
Author, thank you for the 100 bits. This is part 2 of 2. I knew it was the next one. However, with Amity, they gave her that development early enough in the show that we were able to enjoy her more as that likable character, as well as her adorable chemistry with Luce.
I agree, because that archetype is done so much. And look, bullies can be very funny. I think Nelson is a very funny character. I for whatever I'm reviewing next week, the bully in that is very, very funny. I think and they can be very scary too. But if you're gonna make them scary or legit threatening, you have to make them interesting. And a lot of shows and movies don't always do that. They just want him to be the bad guy. So you can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure I froze up on my end. So yeah, I like that they start her off as kind of a toughie, and then they, through a very believable passage of time, and what they develop with her and stuff like that, I do make her very likable, interesting, and complex, and still funny and stuff like that. And yeah, she went from what I thought was going to be the worst character of the show to honestly my favorite character of the show. And I really like that a show can do that, where you go, oh, it's going to be this shtick, how boring, and then they just completely transform it in such a smart, natural way.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Here are my top 5 personal films of 2023. 5, The Boy and the Heron. 4, Blackberry. 3, Oppenheimer. 2, Killers of the Flower Moon. 1, Across the Spider-Verse.
I mean, sounds like a good list. I never did see the Flower Moon one, but I heard it was pretty good.
Kenton Play Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. 'Twas a few days before Christmas, and on Channel Awesome's Twitch, Walter got very salty and called Doug a bald bitch. Spider-Man with Doug and Malcolm, Mario Wonder with Heather, and Chester reluctantly reviews the Chicago weather. And he's turned into a snowman from the Campbell Soup commercial. Nice going, Doug.
Oh, God bless you, sir. It's so cold.
Cracker Jacker, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you checked out the Legend of Titanic spin-off Fantasy Island? Not to be confused with Ricardo Montalban's show. It's on Tubi and Crazy, and also there's now a Lego Twilight set.
That's funny. I saw it exists, and I always keep saying, oh my God, I've always covered everything that's connected to the animated Titanic. I should do this show and everything. It's surprisingly a lot of episodes.
Okay.
So I haven't had a chance to watch it all and everything, and I don't know if I'll get a chance because it does just look so funny. Animated Titanic, the series, just looks so funny. So I am aware it exists. I have not seen it.
Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. I wanted to share my favorite titles list I watched this year in order of viewing. The Court Jester, Across the Spider-Verse, Island at the Top of the World, underrated Disney film from the 70s, Kino's Journey, I brought up last week, and Pieces of April.
Cool. Yeah, not a bad list.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 100 bits. Tomorrow we're going to have the final appearance of the badass Aquaman before he's gonna suck again.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, this could suck. Who knows? I feel bad because I like that actor. I like Aquaman. I do not have much interest in seeing this movie. It just looks like, well, here we go again. Just Aquaman underwater, zappy zappy, punch punch, and that's kind of it. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's really really good. But yeah, it's another one of those where I'm just like, yeah, I weirdly have no interest in that. I'd rather see Wonka over that.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Mr. Monk's Last Case? And if so, what are your thoughts?
No, I found I'm not alone on this. Monk's a very good show. It's very well written, very well acted, and stuff like that. I can't stand the character. And I know that's the idea, but he just really gets on my nerves. And I found out there's a lot of people that are the same way. They're just like, I just don't like watching him. And that's such a great actor. And he plays it great. he just gets on my nerves. So yeah, I probably won't be watching it, even if it's really good. I believe you, it is well done. I have the same problem with Everybody Loves Raymond. I just can't stand those people, but I recognize those people. Maybe that's why. Maybe I'm like, I already know these kind of people in real life. I don't. I watch TV sometimes to get away from these folks.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. You know what stuff you should add to Disney December? Touchstone Pictures, Miramax Films pre 2010, and live action DreamWorks films from 2011 to 2016, as it was owned by Disney during that time.
I didn't know that. Oh, it's interesting. Um, I might do Miramax. I was thinking about that. Which again, it looks weird seeing like the Disney Semper logo to like Pulp Fiction and stuff like that. But then again, that might be fun. Touchstone, I've already kind of been talking about them a fair amount. I just don't say it's Touchstone. I didn't include it officially, but in my opinion, I'm like, yeah, no, this is Disney. I talked about the Ernest movies. I talked about like Roger Rabbit and stuff. That was Touchstone.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 100 bits. What character you have personal nickname for? For example, I call Tracer Zippy because she runs all over the map like Flojo.
Uh, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever given a character a nickname. If I did, it'd be like when I was really young, like a kid. I could see myself maybe doing that. But yeah, I can't think of one I've done that with. I'm sure I have, but I can't think of it.
I don't know as I've given one like a personal nickname. Like, like in the fandom, sometimes people get nicknames or whatever. Like, another video game one, I used to be really into Apex Legends and I was a Gibraltar main, and a lot of people call him Gibby. Like, and that, I didn't make that up. I was just like, oh, I'm a Gibby main. Like that's just what people nicknamed him. So I don't think I ever made one that's like personal to me though,
Yeah. It's an interesting question though.
It is. Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Finally watched Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I really liked it. One scene that actually kind of astounded me in its level of vulgarity was the part with Christina Ricci's character. Yikes, and you thought the film Election was perverted.
Yeah, it's a it's a bizarre little movie. I'll say this. I'm impressed you liked it going into it, because a lot of people, unless you know the book, a lot of people, including me watching, just go, fuck is this? I don't know what any of this is. So I'm curious if you knew the book or even the person going in, because I wonder if that plays a part in your enjoyment of it.
Tamara's in chat, and she says, I called a lot of characters that bitch while we were watching Edward Scissorhands last night. That's true. Yeah. That does eater. Thank you for the 100 bits. As I've told you before, I'm watching Batman the Animated Series for the first time. I recently watched two-parter of Feet of Clay, which I've heard is another classic of the series. What do you think of those episodes?
Oh, I love it. The animation in the in part 2 particularly is so phenomenal when he sees all the TV screens, and that theme, that da, 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 it's such a tragic, sad theme. It's like one of my favorite ones. When I think of someone just like, I don't know, like falling to the ground and like crying or screaming or something like that, I hear that theme in there. It's both such a quiet but also massive, loud theme at the same time. It's very, very good.
Livster, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug and Heather, have you seen Blue Eyes Samurai? And if so, what are your thoughts?
No, Rob was talking
yet.
about it. Rob was saying it was pretty good. Or I think Malcolm was saying that too.
Yeah, I've heard great things. I just haven't gotten around to it. Godzilla fan, thank you for the 100 bits. Heather and Doug, what are you excited for from the MCU, and what are you excited from the DCCU?
In terms of what's coming or what they've done already?
What are you excited for? So I'm assuming what's coming.
I should be excited for Fantastic Four, because everyone always says it's great. I've never seen that good an adaptation, but I grew up with X-Men. I love X-Men. I want to see them in the MCU. Even if it's bad, I want to see how they do it bad. You know what I mean? It's like they're characters I like that much, where even if they're done poorly, I'm like, but I want to see their take on it, their interpretation on it. So, yeah, that's very much what I'm most excited for. And DCEU, what? I was gonna say maybe Joker 2, but that doesn't count, right?
I mean, no, I don't think so for like the new DCCU, I guess, from what was announced. I think there are a couple of exciting things. Like, I'll be interested to see what they do with Superman Legacy. I'm really excited that they have considered or are a part of the plan is Swamp Thing. That'll be really cool. So, I mean, I think they have some potential.
And they are doing Brave and the Bold, right? Was that one of the ones they were
Yes,
doing?
Batman.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they're gonna do that.
For sure. Queen Caleficent, thank you for the 100 bits. Okay, have I experienced the Mandela effect? I swear to God you reviewed Wacko's Wish a couple of years ago. Like, seriously, why do I have a vivid memory of you reviewing that movie?
I've talked about Animaniacs a lot with Tom Ruger, so maybe it was one of those.
I know, guys, thank you for the 100 bits. You know what really pissed me off about Rebel Moon? The fact that Zack Snyder is doing a director's cut of it, even though it's releasing on Netflix. Goddamn Netflix, that makes no sense!
That is a little right. You know, I'll say this: that his director cuts really do change a lot. He is one of those where I am kind of like, you know what, just because I usually am of the mind of like, you know, film's a collaborative, you know, effort. Yes, it's a director's medium, but I mean, you shouldn't have yes men all around you and stuff like that. People should come in and fiddle with it sometimes. Snyder is one of the few where I'm like, you know, I think you should just let him do whatever the fuck he wants, because whenever like anything is taken out, it just makes it so bad. Where for whatever reason, when it's like all his director cuts and extended versions and stuff, it's like this is a lot better. Like this is pretty good. So yeah, it is weird. Maybe that's the reason I don't want to check this new version out either. Maybe I want to wait for the director's cut then, because yeah, those are the ones that I don't know. I weirdly get into those, and I don't usually get into director's cuts that much.
Mahana Longwalker, thank you for the 100 bits. Perhaps next year, Tall Tales could be part of Disneycember.
You're talking about the movie, I'm assuming. Possibly. I remember it not being good, but it'd be fun to check it out again.
Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the sci-fi movie The Last Mimsy? I thought it was very odd and cool.
I never saw it. I heard bad things about it, so I didn't check it out. But based on that recommendation, I definitely won't check it out. No, I'll try and give it a look.
Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, to add to your ever-growing list of stuff to watch, if you haven't seen it, check out Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. It was 2 seasons and was sort of a predecessor to Gravity Falls, of an overarching mystery plus Patrick Warburton as the incompetent sheriff.
I feel like I've heard that there's so many Scooby-Doo cartoons. I'm trying to see. It was 2010. I think I've seen like clips of this. Oh, is this? I know where I've seen this. There's a clip where Shaggy and Velma are hooking up because and Scooby sees them kissing, and I mean, I thought this was a fake dub, but he actually says that Scooby just goes, "Shaggy, are you cheating on me?" And I'm like, what the hell? It was the weirdest thing I ever saw, and that made me want to check out the show just to know the context of all that.
Kenton Play Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the Walmart commercial where they make sequel to The Grinch? The only good thing I will say about the ad is the animation is spectacular, but they butcher the moral of the original story. Merry capitalism, everyone.
Walmart Grinch.
I have not seen
sequel. Okay.
Have not seen it.
Oh, okay. You know, I've seen more videos ripping this commercial apart. I didn't know it was a commercial. Okay, interesting. I will check that out, definitely, especially if there's so much hate for it.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Spider-Man and Superman are characters that made a huge impression on me when I was a kid. They laid the groundwork for my morality. That's why I push against cynical people who crap on Superman, because it's hard to imagine someone who generally wants to help and do good because it's right.
Well, I mean, you can do that character poorly, and you can do him very well, certainly, and still. I'm with you, though. I think the idea behind him, it should be very simple. He grows up on a farm, nothing's too crazy or complex, and that's why it's so interesting. He goes to the city to fight crime and stuff like that, where things do get complex, and he is really challenged and stuff like that. He has to hold on to that simplicity of right and wrong. And even being like human and superhuman and stuff like that. So no, all of that, it can be done spectacularly and has been done spectacularly, but it's been done poorly too. I get why people don't want to write for him, because he is such an icon. It's kind of like writing for Mickey Mouse. He's so iconic and so good, but there's definitely a challenge to that too. Like if you know how to do it, you can create something really great. Like the first Superman movie, you know, I think it tackled all of that very, very well.
Caleb Barcelos, thank you for the 200 bits. My comfort character is Steve from Blue's Clues.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Disney knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. Okay, besides the obvious answers like Simpsons, what is a show you would have preferred to have ended sooner and one you would have liked to have at least one more season?
Spectacular Spider-Man for more seasons, man, definitely. Sonic SatAM, I like to see another season of that. In terms of what should have ended earlier, I mean, I guess Family Guy would be on there too. Yeah, I'm trying to think of ones that just kept going and should have stopped, should have quit when they were ahead. Man, I know they're out there. It's like a ton of them, and I'm just
Yeah,
blanking on them.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of shows that jump the shark, like I
Yeah.
loved the first I'll even say 2 seasons of Heroes and it should have just ended. You know what I mean?
I
Or
heard that about Heroes a lot, man.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Or even something like Once Upon a Time. Like it gets ridiculous and like it could have not been as long as it is. Like we don't have to keep
Yeah.
having it go. It's that's okay.
Yeah. Those are good ones.
Yeah. Darkhound, thank you for the 100 bits. Has Doug watched the new Godzilla -1 movie? And if so, what are your thoughts? Darkhound, we're all trying to tell him he needs to see it, okay?
I,
We're
I,
all here putting in the good word of Godzilla -1. And this schmuck, no, just kidding.
I believe y'all. I do. I definitely do. I want to go see it. I hope I can because I am catching up on a lot of stuff. I still have one more Disney separate to do. That's how behind I am. But yeah, I very much excuse me. I very much want to based on what everyone's been saying about it.
Caleb, thank you for the 200 bits. Sorry I messed up my last message. I wanted to say Blue's Clues is the first show that I ever watched, and Steve always stuck with me, and as an autistic person, I connected with using your mind and taking one step at a time. Even as an adult, I love Blue's Clues.
Oh, that's very cool. You know,
That's
it's
awesome.
I know what it is. I never, I mean, it was way too past my time. So I didn't know that was one of the things where it's like take your time, and sort of take it step by step. That's really cool.
It's a part of the song.
Oh, okay.
Take
Well,
a
it shows you how much I
step
don't know.
at a time, then you do everything that you wanna do. Anyway,
I have no idea what any of that is.
my little brothers loved Blue's Clues. I was definitely too old for it, but my little brothers loved it. That does nerd. Thank you for the 100 bits. Who had it worse in Home Alone 1 with the traps, Marv or Harry? Same thing with Home Alone 2.
Probably Marv, just the stuff done to his feet. It's so harsh.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 100 bits. What characters do you have zero sympathy for? For example, I have zero sympathy for Moira Dorian, sorry, because she's so self-righteous and her experiments are wrong, and Caleb Cross because he's a sadistic killer. Jesus Christ, Heather, read words.
In Deck the Halls, that was maybe the stupidest plot to a Christmas movie I've ever seen, and all the characters are awful, and they try to make them like sympathetic, and it's like, no, there is nothing relatable to what you're talking about, to what these characters are going through, or the meaning of Christmas, or anything, and they're not funny. It was quite horrendous.
Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. From what you said about The Boy and the Heron, it sounds like it copied the idea from Life of Pi, with each animal being a representation of someone in his life. Not quite.
Yeah,
You gotta go see it. Godzilla fan, thank you for the 100 bits. Speaking of A Christmas Carol, would you ever review Scrooge, starring Bill Murray?
Terrible confession. I like that movie. It's a good movie. I weirdly don't love it. And I've seen it many, many times to try and figure out why I don't love it, if that makes sense. It's a weird thing to do because I'm like, this has everything I should love in a Christmas Carol movie, in a Christmas comedy. It's got dark edge to it. It looks great. Music's great. It's funny. But something about it doesn't connect with me, and I never quite figured out what it was. Maybe when I figure out what it is, I might do a review, because I still like it. It's a good movie, but I know people that love that movie, and I'm like, I should too, and I don't know why I don't.
Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. Will we have Dad Lee make an appearance anytime in the near future? I miss seeing him in first viewings. He has such a jolly attitude to him.
Maybe, yeah. I'm trying to think. Well, we haven't even done first viewings that much, but yeah, I was just thinking of that too. I'm like, yeah, it's been a while since I put Dad in something. I should see if I can kind of work him into something.
Author, thank you for the 100 bits. Just want to wrap things up on my end by saying that you guys are such a blessing to me and countless others. I mentioned this to Tamara already, but your entertainment, comedy, and insight day after day truly is the gift that keeps on giving all year round. Thanks for always being there. Have a Merry Christmas, plenty of Christmas crunch, and love to all the CA crew.
Oh my God!
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. That's so kind of you. Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
that. Haunted Joker, thank you for the 100 bits. A bit ashamed to admit I have been starstruck at cons before. Other than Catherine Zeta-Jones, who's a celebrity you would gush over if you met them?
Um, hmm. One that caught me off guard. I don't know until I see them. And one that I just can't believe I went starstruck for. This is so ridiculous. Sergeant Slaughter. Because he was my introduction to G.I. Joe. When I think of like the first commercial I can comprehend, seeing it was him advertising G.I. Joe. And he was the spokesperson. He's like, you gotta take down Cobra, take him down now. Here's how, and get the newest toy, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, and he had a booth next to us at C2E2. I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. And it's so funny because when we went up to say hi and everything, he was very soft spoken. Like, oh, thank you. Yes, it's very nice to you. And he's in the outfit. He's got the shades and the hat and everything. And he does, the cool pose. But, just very quiet man. Definitely sounds like somebody threw his voice out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, I just can't believe that's the one of all these people I admire and made these amazing things. But for some reason, Sergeant Slaughter, I was speechless around. It's so silly. But yeah, I really don't know until I get to them.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen The Hustler? It stars Paul Newman, Piper Laurie, George C. Scott, and Jackie Gleason. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it yet.
No, I love that cast. I'll try to check it out.
Bernsey, thank you for the 100 bits. Possible CA videos of both The Boy and the Heron and Godzilla -1.
I've talked about maybe doing like a vlog review of them. Like I said, I might just do one big video like in January or something when I have some time to just go over, like, I think Red Letter Media does this too, just like all the stuff we missed and didn't have a chance to talk about. It'll just be this super mega video because I did see so much, but because of the fatigue and shingles and everything, it was hard to do a video on it. So I might do that.
I know what, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I'm letting you know it seems like Loki is officially over. Maybe you could review it for Disney-cember alongside Hawkeye next year.
All right. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, might do that.
The Will Meister, thank you for the 100 bits. I'm sure I'm the first to ask. Good Burger 2 is out. What are Doug's thoughts, and should we expect to hear the critics' thoughts on it?
I haven't seen it yet. I hear it's good. And honestly, it's one of those movies where I was kind of going like, yeah, I don't. It sounds bizarre, but I didn't see how it could be bad. Because even if it's bad, I feel like it'd still be good. That's part of the fun of it. And everybody's saying, yeah, no, it's pretty smart in what it does. It still keeps true to what it is and everything. And a part of me does want to see it. I haven't seen it yet, but I actually do want to check it out.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 100 bits. Since Blade is coming to the Xbox, I want to hear, what I want from it is tons of hip hop. I want the entire soundtrack, nothing but rap music. Newcastle voice actor as Blade, all of his weapons available, Dishonored gameplay, but with zero stealth.
I want that techno song from the first one, man. I love that. I fucking love that song. Yeah, I don't know. Like the teaser was cool. I guess it's not even a teaser. It's just an announcement, right? And yeah, I mean, just for an announcement, it looked cool. But yeah, it is one of those where it's like, I'm shocked it hasn't become a game yet, or at least like a major one, like that.
Fantasy Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. The original creator of Kratos apparently said he hates the direction the games have taken with his character. He apparently said nobody wants a story about Kratos being a father and nobody cares about family like that. Thoughts?
Not to quote Luke Skywalker here, but I care.
I love the new games, but I never played the old games. My understanding is that the old God of War games are very different than the new ones. So I can understand if you are a huge fan of the old style, not liking the new ones and like seeing the drastic difference that it's taken and being like, not my Kratos, but I love them. They're great. Heavy Metal Harry, thank you for the 100 bits. What did you think of Steve Irwin? Was he brilliant or crazy or both?
Why not both? No, he was awesome. I mean, like, he's one of those guys. I think everything kind of speaks for itself about like how kind he was and how positive he was and upbeat he was and stuff like. I love he always said whenever he got hurt by an animal, he always said it's always my fault. If I overdo it, it's always my fault. I overstep my bounds, and I just thought that that's so humble of him to say. And he tried so hard to save so many animals and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. Everything, it seemed very much what you see is what you get, which I think is very cool. And his family's really cool too. I mean, they're still continuing like that tradition and showing up on shows and stuff like that. And yeah, I just think that's so freaking cool.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Hint for the first NC of 2024.
It is actually, I think it's a 30-year-old movie. It was by accident, but it is from an action star whose movies I've never reviewed, and it's kind of weird I haven't, because he has a huge library I could very easily take apart.
Tamara Chambers. Oh my gosh, we're in the presence of greatness. Thank you for that 51-month subscription. Heather, your sweater is incredible, and so are you. Shut up, you are. It would surprise.
All I can be is myself.
It would surprise you very little to learn that this is one of 3 of my giraffe holiday themed sweaters. So, thank you. Gary Turbo, thank you for the 100 bits. Can we acknowledge the fact that the flute guy is amazing due to the fact that he has passion for what he does, and people need to stop getting mad at Chris Judge for that Call of Duty joke. I love the flute guy. It's from the Game Awards. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
In the Game Awards, in the Game Awards orchestra, it was like 2 years ago. This guy was playing flute and just jamming out, just loving his life, and became a bit of a meme, and he was back again this year, and we love him. We love him, and we love his passion. Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the original Odd Couple with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau?
Matthau, thank you so much.
Matthau, sorry.
It is spelled very strange. I remember like I don't know if I saw it quite as like the classic everyone said, but maybe I had to like kind of see it when it came out, be a part of that time period. But I like it. It's a very, very funny movie, good performances, good writing. Is it just a good flick.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Rank these 3 movies: Ferris Bueller's Day Off, 16 Candles, Breakfast Club.
I think it just did it. Yeah, that's the order for me, anyway.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on Wonka?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm hearing good things. I'm hearing either people are like, yeah, that was a good time, or like they love it. And that's a far cry from what I think everyone thought it was going to be. So that's really cool.
Mythic Sons, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey Doug, has there ever been a moment where a writer has watched one of your reviews of someone else's film and taken one of your criticisms to heart? I'm currently working on a story, and interestingly, one of my main plot points was inspired by your criticism of the dragon from Aragon, who tended to talk too much while saying nothing that needed to be said.
I try. Sometimes it's a little cool when you see a movie where they actually, or a sequel, I should say, when they fix a problem that you had. That's one of the reasons I love No Way Home. I really feel like it took the strengths of the other movies and got rid of all the weaknesses. And like that was really cool to see. I'm trying to think of anyone that said they purposefully removed something or changed something because they saw my review. The Purge movies, I felt like kind of did that. It was almost like they were watching my reviews and said, oh, that's a fair point. Maybe we should change this up. And they actually kind of got a little better as they went along. But in terms of has anyone directly told me that, I don't think so. I've had directors and writers reach out and say they really liked the review and stuff like that. But I can't recall anyone saying I've made a change because of you, because of your criticism.
Kenton Play Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. What would you say is your favorite Christmas episode of Bob's Burgers? Mine is a tie between the Gingerbread House episode and the episode where the family is being chased by a crazy candy cane truck driver while Teddy gets trapped in the fridge.
That one, I like that one. Yeah, the one where they, I think just the atmosphere of that one too, because it's both kind of creepy because it's at night and you have like, the lights from the cars, kind of shooting everything in a shadowy way and stuff. But it's also kind of snowing. It's also kind of pretty too. And of course, it's really funny. So yeah, I'd say that one.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Top 3 Robert Rodriguez movies. You can only pick one Sin City and one film out of the Mexico trilogy.
Okay. Actually, it makes it pretty easy. All right, so Sin City, Alita. I really do love Alita, and I'll say Desperado because that was my introduction to those movies, and I think whatever your introduction to it is, that's gonna be the one you like the most.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 100 bits. What is the most terrifying to face if you are a henchman? A smiling Batman or a silent Spider-Man?
Uh, Probably a silent Spider-Man. Maybe because I'm playing Spider-Man right now, and he can be pretty creepy in that black suit. A smiling Batman, he's like doing like a mind game or something like that. Spider-Man, because you can't read the face, you could be like, oh, he's really fucking pissed. He's gonna hurt me.
Hewlett fan, thank you for the 100 bits. What's your favorite year for movies? Do you think there's a specific year you could say that more than any other year had the largest percentage of good movies coming out?
There's two that come to mind. One is '89 because I remember UHF tried to come out during that time because it got great audience feedback. The test screenings were fantastic. But every big movie you can is like Batman, Lethal Weapon, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Indiana Jones, like all these movies just ate it up. So it's like it's one of those where the summer was so good, other movies, got killed because of it. And another is because I've reviewed so many of them this year, and I'm like, yeah, fuck, that really was a good year for movie. '93, 30 years, from now. Just when I was looking back at all the movies I was reviewing, and I wasn't intending them to be like 30 years, later, anniversaries or anything. It just worked out that way, and I'm like, yeah, man, shit, there were a lot of good movies that came out then.
We are gonna have to pick it up just a little
Gotcha.
bit here. Kenton Play Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. You mean we have to ask for a hint for the next review? Oh, fudge.
Yeah, no, now you're not gonna get.
Great. I know, guys, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you think you'll do a worst films of 2023 list with Brad this year? There's a film I'm hoping you'll review called The Perfect Christmas. That film is so horrendous that it's actually hilarious.
I don't know if I've seen enough, but that's always the case, isn't it? If he asks for one, I'll do it. But yeah, I'd have to really, really look for movies.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the trailer for the Ryan Reynolds movie, If?
I didn't think it looked that good. I thought it looked kind of lame, but I hope I'm wrong because I like all the people involved in it. But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't making me laugh that much.
Hewlett Band, thank you for the 100 bits. Happy Christmas, Doug and Heather. Just out of curiosity, I have a Christmas movie recommendation, the 1998 animated Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with John Goodman. It's amazing, and I wonder if you've ever heard of it. Also, think you could ever do a review of Jim Carrey's Mask cartoon?
Man, I'd have to see a lot of them. I did because that's another one I didn't really grow up with. I grew up with the movie, and I haven't seen the Rudolph you're talking about, but I have heard of it, and there are people who have recommended it, but I have not checked it out, so I will do my best.
Like the Nothing, thank you for the 100 bits. The marketing for Aquaman 2 was so bleak. Even Jason Momoa, while promoting the movie, sound depressed, talking about how he probably won't be playing the character again unless the film is a massive success. It's sad, but slightly funny at the same time.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I want it to be good. Obviously, any movie I want to be good, but yeah, I don't know. It was not getting me particularly excited.
Hewlett Band, thank you for the 100 bits. Is it me, or is there a weird quality to all Netflix originals? Like, they all feel weirdly sterile in a way, like a weird fusion of rich and cheap production. Also, are there any movies or shows that you think are underhated?
I kind of know what you're talking about. I do like the Netflix movies, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't kind of agree a little bit with what you're saying there. And movies that are underhated. I mean, there's plenty of films that like I hate and everybody else loves. I think everybody has those movies. I don't know. I'd have to think about when it's like that. I'm like, oh, people should. Oh, the Grinch, the Jim Carrey Grinch. I just thinking of that movie just makes me like get angry at it. And so many people love it.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite black and white horror movie?
The Haunting. That's my favorite horror movie in general.
Gibbo, thank you for the 100 bits. Happy holidays to everyone in Channel Awesome. Thanks for another great year of entertainment and laughs, and getting to meet Doug in Dublin was the highlight this year.
Oh, thank you so much. It was great to see you too, and thanks for watching our stuff.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the movie The Water Horse?
I don't think I've seen it. I'll try and check it out.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the serious Will Ferrell movies, Stranger Than Fiction and Everything Must Go?
They're passable. I feel bad because I feel like he probably could do drama pretty well, and I think he did it fine in those. But the movies are just all right. I think he needs a stronger vehicle.
Oiram, thank you for the 100 bits. There's a certain Walmart commercial released this year you may want to look over in the next commercials. I'll give you a hint, it involves a Christmas property that you've reviewed twice.
Yeah, somebody brought that up earlier. I haven't seen it, but apparently it's getting some real backlash. I'm really curious about it now.
Alex loves musicals, thank you for the 100 bits. I used to babysit and some kids really gravitated to the Disney Junior show Little Einsteins. It was too cutesy for me, but I respected the hell out of it for teaching classical music, music terms, and art history. They love music and art to this day.
That's cool. I didn't know that's what it was about. I always saw the title, but I didn't know what it was. All right, that's interesting.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on Darren Aronofsky and favorite Darren Aronofsky movie?
Probably The Wrestler, though I do like Pie a lot. Yeah, I like his stuff. I don't love all of it. Some of it's a little too on the nose, but yeah, I do really like his stuff a lot.
Boy Ram, thank you for the 100 bits. Would you thought Robert Pattinson would ever do the voice he did in Boy and the Heron?
I literally before the stream, I just found out that was him. I didn't even know because I heard he was in it, but I didn't. I thought that was like Willem Dafoe doing that voice. So I was blown away by that, and yeah, I thought he did great.
He did great. He's unrecognizable. He
I
really
didn't
was like,
recognize
oh,
him, yeah.
you think I'm only in Twilight and Batman? Let me enter my Mark Hamill era.
Yeah, with Mark Hamill.
Yes, with Mark Hamill. Devious Demeter Lupin, thank you for the 100 bits. I know you've mentioned you've been running out of ideas for PSA segments for the commercial specials. Have you all considered doing a bit on the This Is Your Brain on Drugs PSAs?
Did we not? We did a like a top 11 drug PSAs, I think, and we talked about it there. So I feel like we already addressed it before.
The Willmeister, thank you for the 100 bits. One show that I could have used more of is MTV's Spider-Man, the new animated series. And one that went on too long was Fairly Odd Parents. The live-action shows MTV's Faking It needed one more season, while I'm surprised Grey's Anatomy is still on. Didn't Grey herself leave that show?
Is it really still going? Holy shit. I did not know that. I guess I was going to say cool. That's not it, though. Interesting.
Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. The sequel, The Hustler, is terrible. Scorsese's The Color of Money.
Is it Hustler or The Hustle? I
The
haven't seen either,
Hustler,
but...
sorry. I misread it if I said The Hustle.
No, but I thought it was actually called that. No, it is The Hustler. You're right. Okay. I thought it was The Hustle. Never mind. That's good to know.
Mustard Man, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I completely agree with the sentiment of the Guardians review. We need to listen to all opinions different than ours, except for Armand White's. His are all trash.
If I remembered who that was, maybe I'd agree with you.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What would you say is the most tonally inconsistent movie that still works great? For me, it's either Scrooged or Something Wild. For me, their variety of tones is part of the fun.
I mean, I did just talk about Wacko's Wish. That's kind of part of it where that works. Maybe not for tone, but in terms of humor, Home Alone is really odd because it repeats so many jokes and doesn't do much of a variety with them. But it does weirdly work.
CJ Noel Lopez, thank you for the 100 bits. The character that means a lot to me is Sonic the Hedgehog. I've grown up since as a kid feeling a little insecure and less confident with myself because I grew up autistic, had difficulty doing simple physical tasks that other kids could do and going to special ed classes. I'm also socially awkward and get lots of anxiety when I want to join a social circle. I always looked up to Sonic, seeing how confident, courageous, and adventurous he was.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, he was a very confident character and clearly fast, so he's physically pretty active. So, no, that's really cool.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. No, you know what the Blade game needs? Blades over the top reaction from the third movie.
I like the original Blades.
Blades.
They need blades.
I think because that's the one I thought was funny.
That's pretty funny.
But yes, Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. If you could go back in time and meet one of these humble celebrities, which would you go with? Vincent Price, Gregory Peck, or Jimmy Stewart?
Yeah, any of them would be great. I'll say Gregory Peck because I saw a little biography on him, and he just seemed like the most humble, nicest person in the world. I mean, they all sound pretty nice, but yeah, I'd say him.
Blake the Nothing, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug and Heather, have you guys seen the leaked footage of the upcoming Wolverine game by Insomniac? It basically looks like Spider-Man, but with a ton of gore.
No,
No.
because it is a leak, and I
Yeah.
want to be respectful of that. I hold off from it if it's not legally dropped.
Yeah, the leak is terrible too. You really shouldn't be looking at the
Because it's
leakers
not
stuff.
done.
I mean,
Yeah, it's
not
not
only that,
fair.
but these leakers also leaked a whole bunch of personal information of people who work at Insomniac.
Mm,
So, it's pretty bad. I would not encourage that.
yeah.
The Willmeister, thank you for the 100 bits. Yeah, the old God of War games are kind of different, Heather. They are worth it. My personal favorite is God of War 3. Kratos is at his best and angriest to the point you have difficulty cheering for him. Also, Kevin Sorbo returns as a heel Hercules. Well,
Yeah.
better than the heel version he played on his show.
That's interesting. I haven't played Hercules. That's kind of cool.
Master Tiebreaker, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, fun Home Alone story. I was too young to remember it, but my mom tells me that when I was 2 years old, I was inspired by the sledding scene from the movie and pulled the side off my baby crib to recreate it. The only problem being my staircase pulled a 180 on the way down, so I only made it halfway.
That's the only problem, huh? Aside from that, it was a flawless plan. That's pretty funny.
Matt Gamer, thank you for the 100 bits. My very first bits for you guys. I just wanted to wish you and Doug and your family a very Merry Christmas and Happy New. Shut that door!
Well, back at you. Thank you so much.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. I remember you once listed Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and Charlie Brown as the only two good Thanksgiving classics. The Ice Storm and Tower Heist are good ones too.
Is Tower? I guess Tower Heist is. Ice Storm. Do you really get in the Thanksgiving mood when you see that though? There is another one. It was the Jodie Foster film. I forget what. I think it's Home for the Holidays. That one's pretty good. I discovered recently.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 100 bits. Possible NC review or thoughts on Flash Gordon?
The music, I think, is what would get us hit for the NC. So I don't know if it's worth it, but it's fun. I like that movie.
Sean 49 Doctor, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey Doug, did you ever watch MASH growing up? And will we see an NC of the Robert Altman film that started it all?
Probably not. I don't think anyone would be interested in seeing my thoughts on that. I did like the show though. The show was pretty good.
All right, we have like literally 1 minute for some highlighted questions, so we'll see what we can get to. Power Gamer is saying Feliz Navidad.
Back at you.
Math God says, now that you have seen Boy and the Heron, which is a better title, that or the Japanese translated title, How Do You Live?
Boy and the Heron.
Yeah. Blabble, I can never say your name. Blabble Block said, since I never hear you talking about these movies, what are your thoughts on Superbad? And this is Spinal Tap.
They're both good. I never quite got into the hype of them. Spinal Tap, I feel like I need to see it when it came out. I think I've seen too many movies like it after it came out. So I don't know. Maybe I should see it again. I do like it, but I don't think I quite got the craze for it.
That's fair. Last one, Ramirez says, how did you get the creator of Animaniacs in your review? And also, happy holidays.
Years ago, a fan said they were friends with Tom Ruger. And, I said, well, can you reach out? I'd love to talk to him and stuff. And we did this a kind of interview thing, this 3-part interview thing with him and Sherry Stoner and Paul Ruddy and all these people. And I don't know, we've just talked ever since. We've kept in contact. And yeah, he's a great guy and made, like I said, one of my favorite shows of all time.
Awesome. Great. All right, everyone. Well, thank you very much for joining us here today. We really, really appreciate it. Again, we do still have streams tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. So please come on back. We do still have streams Thursday and Friday. And then next week, there will be no stream Monday, Tuesday. But we should be back here again next Wednesday. So these are not the final streams of 2023. You still have us for a couple more weeks here. Come on back. We really appreciate you. We're going to go raid Miss Tamara Chambers. So we will head over there and say hello to her. I hope you all have a good rest of your evening. And we will see you all later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.